The power of silence, why saying nothing is your greatest weapon. Experience the power of silence. Take a deep breath and say nothing. Do you feel it? That slight pressure? That urge to break the silence? That's the power of silence. Now imagine this. You step into a crowded room. Voices clash, conversations buzz like static in the background. Then, you stop talking. The shift is almost invisible, yet something happens. The air gets heavier. People glance in your direction. Something about your silence makes them uneasy, but why? Because in a world where everyone fights to be heard, the one who remains silent holds the real power. Silence makes people uncomfortable because our brains hate uncertainty. When a conversation has an empty space, we instinctively try to fill it. That's why, in moments of silence, people start talking more than they intended, revealing things they normally wouldn't. This is why great leaders, Steve Jobs, Barack Obama, Elon Musk, use strategic pauses when they speak. They let silence build anticipation, making every word they say feel heavier, more important. Try this. In your next conversation, before you respond, pause. Let the silence build. Watch how the person across from you reacts. They will listen more intently, waiting for your words to break the silence. That's power. Why most people fear silence. Ever been in a situation where you felt the need to keep talking just to avoid awkward silence? You're not alone. Most people fear silence because it forces them to confront something they often avoid, themselves. A study by Harvard psychologists found that most people would rather shock themselves with electric currents than sit in silence for 10 minutes. Why? Because silence forces us to be alone with our thoughts. Monks practice silence not just as a spiritual discipline, but as a tool for mental clarity. Some of the world's greatest thinkers, Albert Einstein, Nikola Tesla, would sit in silence for hours, letting their thoughts expand beyond everyday distractions. But here's the paradox. While most people fear silence, those who embrace it gain an advantage. They learn patience, control, and self-awareness. That's why it's one of the most powerful tools in negotiation. How silence wins in negotiations. Ever been in a situation where you felt like you had to explain yourself? Where you said too much and instantly regretted it? In negotiations, the one who speaks first often loses. And this applies to more than just business. It applies to how people perceive your worth. Psychologists call this the anchoring effect. When an offer is made, silence forces the other party to second-guess their stance. But why? Because humans are wired to seek equilibrium in conversations. When someone goes silent, the brain interprets it as an unresolved tension, an open loop that needs closure. And in most cases, the person who speaks first gives away their position. Chris Voss, a former FBI hostage negotiator, mastered this technique. He would ask a question, then fall completely silent. Seconds would pass. The suspect would shift uncomfortably, glancing around the room. More silence. And then suddenly they would start speaking, filling the gap, revealing more than they ever intended. Now imagine you're negotiating a salary. You say, "I believe $80,000 is a fair number." Then you stop. You don't explain. You don't justify. The employer, now uncomfortable, starts talking. "Well, we might be able to go a bit higher." And just like that, you've won. Common mistakes when silence can backfire. Now, before you start using silence as a tool, let's talk about a mistake many people make: using silence the wrong way. Silence is powerful when it's intentional. But if you're silent in a way that feels passive, dismissive, or rude, it won't command respect. It will push people away. 3-step framework for using silence correctly. Stay still. No fidgeting, no nervous movements. Own the silence. Control timing. Use it to build anticipation, not awkwardness. Speak with impact. When you do talk, make your words short and meaningful. Can you master the power of silence? Silence isn't just about words. It's about perception. The ability to stay silent gives you control over conversations, over emotions, and over how people see you. Final challenge: your 24-hour social experiment. Try this just for today. In every conversation, pause for 2 extra seconds before speaking. Notice what happens. Do people lean in? Do they start explaining themselves? It's a simple trick, but once you try it, you'll see just how powerful silence really is. And when you try it, let me know in the comments. What did you notice? How did people react? Let's compare results. If this message resonated with you, give this video a like and subscribe for more content like this. Thanks for watching. And until next time, stay powerful, stay silent.